Hello everyone and welcome to Norristown High Boys Basketball. I'm Jeff Brandon and tonight the Eagles are taking on the Vikings of Upper Merion High School. Well, of course Alan Riley's not here with me this evening and Bill Werkheiser's retired from Norristown High Broadcasting, so it'll be me here alone for you for this ball game. I'll do the best I can. If we have any problems, we'll see what happens. To size up this ball game just a bit for you, the Norristown Eagles entering the clash are at 3-1. Their only loss coming at the hands of CB East on a last-second steal and conversion. Their victories, of course, coming over Bishop Kenrick and Plymouth Whitemarsh, two emotional victories, and then an overtime victory over a very tough Chester squad. So the Eagles looking good so far in this very short basketball season. Upper Merion not faring so well. They enter this ball game at 1-2. I have to give the advantage to Norristown this evening here on the home court of the Eagles. John Cresswell, no predictions before the game, but I have to believe that Norristown, the definite advantage entering this ball game. Of course, the high school basketball, I expect to see a game somewhere in the 40s. Norristown defense has been pretty decent this year. They've held their opponents to rather limited scoring, but the offense really has not heated up for John Cresswell. He hasn't had that one definitive scorer for him yet. Nobody's really emerged. Irv Smith, Ron Wells, Stan Brown have all been involved in each game, but I don't think anybody's really taken charge out there on the court. Of course, look for Theron Ellis to be the big presence on defense for Norristown. He has been phenomenal so far this year on defense. 9 blocked shots in that game against Plymouth Whitemarsh that some of you may have seen here on the Norristown High cable channel. He continues to intimidate opposing ball clubs, and I expect to see that very same thing here tonight. Look for Norristown to try and run the ball. They're a quick ball club. No size to speak of. Of course, that's basically all around the Suburban one, both the National and the American conferences. Nobody really with that big man to dominate in the middle. But Theron Ellis, don't forget that tremendous vertical leap that he possesses, makes him a very imposing center nonetheless. Should be an interesting ball game, folks. We hope you'll stay with us for the entirety. We'll be bringing you this ball game here on the Norristown High cable channel. We'll be back in just a moment with the play-by-play from courtside. Away in navy blue uniforms with the gold trim. Starting for Norristown, number 22, Irv Smith. Number 23, Pat O'Brien. Those two, the forwards. At center, number 14, Theron Ellis. Starting guards are number 3, Stanley Brown, and number 10, Ron Wells. We'll get you the Viking starters as soon as we enter the floor. Of course, as we mentioned in our opening game against Plymouth Whitemarsh, PIAA now employs a possession rule. The only jump ball is the jump ball to begin the contest. Subsequent to that, all questions of possession that would normally be settled by a jump ball are settled by the arrow clock. The indicator tells you who will retain possession of a neutral call. And each subsequent quarter will begin with an inbounds play rather than a jump ball. We're ready to begin play. Norristown High and the Upper Merion Vikings. At center, number 14, Ed Helensky, the leading scorer. Ellis wins the tap, goes out to Stanley Brown. The Eagles will be moving from left to right on your screen for offense in this first quarter. They look for Pat O'Brien. The open shot on the baseline. It's short, won't go. Rebound taken by number 21, Dave Chillo. Your guards for Upper Merion, number 33, Mark Talbot, and number 25, Bob Clark. Clark looks down low to Helensky. Norristown in that zone defense. Ron Wells harasses outside. The shot's up and good though, however. Number 21, Dave Sillo. The first basket of the ball game from the baseline. 2-0 Vikings, just underway, 7:12 remaining in the first quarter. They look inside to Irv Smith. Nice turnaround by Irv Smith, drops the ball in from 6 feet away. Tie ball game at 2 apiece. Norristown with full court pressure right away. Upper Merion having a little bit of a problem with it. And they get the ball up court to Helensky. He drops it back for his guard, Bob Clark. Talbot from the top of the key. He'll take that shot. Short, won't go. A nice rebound by Ron Wells. Stan Brown is your floor general. He dishes off to Wells. No shot, though. And they give it to Pat O'Brien. O'Brien had the open jumper, doesn't take it, though. Wells will, however. Pushes that ball long. Stanley Brown gets a hand in there. They fight for it. And Theron Ellis, a good job to knock that ball off of the leg of number 14, Ed Helensky. So the Eagles retain possession. 2 apiece, 6:25 left to go in this first frame of action. Upper Merion, of course, employing a zone. You don't often see much else in high school basketball except in pressure situations. Stan Brown, nice touch. Short, however, we're going to have a foul on the play. Foul call against Norristown, I believe, on number 23, Pat O'Brien. It was either Smith or O'Brien down in there. That committed the transgression. So the Vikings retain possession, a turnover for Norristown. Pressure from Wells knocks the ball out of bounds, but off of the leg of Ron Wells, number 10. So Upper Merion retains possession. Your 5th starter out there for the Vikings as pressure on Helensky knocks the ball loose. Oh, it's taken by number 21, Sillo. His shot's blocked by Wells. Dishes off outside, jump ball. And Upper Merion, as we mentioned just a moment ago, will retain possession. The indicator pointing towards Upper Merion. They'll bring the ball inbounds from their own offensive baseline. That final starter, once again, is number 13, Jim White. White at forward for the Vikings. White's got the ball, looks for the shot. Got 2 men on him, it's partially blocked. Ball comes away to Stanley Brown on the fast break. Upper Merion back quickly on defense. Travel on Pat O'Brien. Good call by the official. Pat O'Brien took that stutter step as he came down court. John Cresswell not happy with that last Norristown offensive play. Cresswell with a long bench this year, although no height on that bench. A rarity. Almost always you find a Norristown team with a player at least 6'5" out there. Not so this year. The biggest player who is likely to see action is 6'3", and that's Theron Ellis. Good ball movement by the Vikings, looking for that open shot. They go down low. Once again, it's knocked away by that hustling Norristown defense. Tough call. Stanley Brown nailed with the foul. That time they're pressuring number 33, Mark Talbot. So the 2nd personal against the Eagles. Helensky is the leading scorer for Upper Merion so far in their 3 ball games. He's averaging 12.7 points a game. Following Helensky is Bob Clark, the man with the ball right now. He's got 9 points a game. Good D by Stanley Brown. Quick hands. Brown down on Talbot. Goes in for the layup. Nice play that time. Went strong to the hoop. Eagles take a 4-2 advantage with 4:31 remaining in the first quarter. Full court pressure. And Talbot draws the foul. So on number 10, Ron Wells, he hacked Talbot that time as Talbot tried to go underneath with the pass. 3rd personal against the Eagles. None as yet against Upper Merion. Helensky. Full pressure's there. Full court pressure, pardon me, is there again. Up court to Helensky. Waits for his guards. Well, we're 4 minutes into this ball game, and it's obvious that Norristown is the quicker of the 2 teams on the court. Good ball movement that time. Clark can't hit the open jumper, however, and the rebound by Irv Smith. Norristown has been harassing on defense so far, really putting pressure on the Upper Merion ball handlers, and it's been quite effective to this stage. Our score, 4-2, 3:49 left to go in the first quarter. They move the ball out to the key. Top of the key, they go down low. And Irv Smith makes that 8-foot jumper. 4 points for Smith. The Eagles take a 6-2 advantage. A steal by Brown. Goes to Wells. Wells can't convert on it, but he's fouled on the play, and Ron Wells will go to the line shooting 2. Substitution for Upper Merion. Number 33, Talbot, leaves the game. Replacing him, number 11, Brad Gasson. I think that Upper Merion coach Tony Funston's going to have to do a great deal of substitution at his guard position, at least as much as he can. They're being harassed mercilessly by those Norristown guards, and they could be worn out by the end of this evening. And Wells knocks the first one through. his first point of the ball game. And the Eagles now up by 5, 7-2. Wells, nothing but cord there. Makes both. 8-2 our score. Clark pressured, no foul call. Sillo up court. Gasson looks for help. Nice pressure by Pat O'Brien and Stan Brown. O'Brien kicks the ball out of bounds, so Upper Merion will retain possession from the near sideline. .3:10 remaining in the first quarter. Helensky dishes off, nice play, and White, the basket's good and a foul on the play. Heck of a play by Jim White. And that foul on Pat O'Brien. Chance for a three-point play, that's what Upper Merion needed. After scoring the first basket in this ball game, Upper Merion had been shut out until White's basket, and he can't convert. Gets his own rebound though, puts it up, won't go. Theron Ellis comes away with that time. Jim White had a chance for a 4-point play. He got the rebound of his missed free throw, but couldn't convert. So with 2:45 remaining, 8-4 Eagles. O'Brien back outside to Wells. Wells wants the jumper. No, he doesn't. Passes off to O'Brien. O'Brien, nothing but cord from the baseline. Pat O'Brien now with 2 points in this ball game. 10-4, Eagles ahead by 6. They get the ball up court to Sillo. He goes in all alone. Oh, Theron Ellis. What a block. Saved by Stan Brown. What a play by the Norristown defense. Oh, folks, that was teamwork. Theron Ellis, a crushing block on Sillo as Sillo drove to the hoop. O'Brien got a hand on it, and Stanley Brown followed up with a save. Ellis goes in alone. Layup won't go. His own follow-up is good, however, so Theron Ellis on the scoreboard. A balanced attack from the Eagles as they take a 12-4 advantage. We're under 2 minutes left in this first quarter, and Upper Merion is having ball control problems. They throw that ball away. Substitution. Pat O'Brien takes the seat. Forrest Davis replaces him. Davis, basically a guard, I guess you must say. He's certainly not 6 feet tall. Wells goes inside, all kinds of pressure. Shot won't go, but he's fouled. 1:43 left to go in the first frame. And back into the ball game, number 33, Mark Talbot. Only 4 points for the Vikes so far. Jim White and Dave Sillo, each with 2 apiece. Ron Wells with a chance to add to his 2 points. Both of those points coming at the free throw line. Make it 3 for 3 for Ron Wells. Herb Smith leads Norristown scorers with 4 points. Stanley Brown has a pair, as does Pat O'Brien and Theron Ellis, as do Pat O'Brien and Theron Ellis. Substitution for Upper Merion. Rod Washington, number 45, enters the ball game. Dave Sillo takes his seat on the bench. Ron Wells, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. Gives the Eagles a 10-point advantage in this first quarter already, 14-4. Tough, aggressive defense and a pretty good shooting percentage for Norristown has been the difference so far. Upper Merion just can't get to the hoop. Helensky, 3 seconds, I think the call might be. Yes, it is. Helensky got into the key, didn't know what to do with it. He was intimidated by Theron Ellis down there. Wound up standing in the paint a little bit too long. The violation against Helensky, and the Eagles up court once again. Wells momentarily loses control. Oh, nice play. Irv Smith open. Basket's good, and he's fouled on the play. Good look by Stanley Brown that time to find Irv Smith open. And Smith, a nice strong move to the hoop. He's got 6 points in this ball game. And Upper Merion, another player into the ball game, Caro Spearman, number 23. And Upper Merion coach Tony Funston has now used all but 3 of his players. And Irv Smith gets the bounce. Give him 7 points in this ball game. Irv Smith is the leading scorer for the Eagles as Pat O'Brien re-enters the ball game for Norristown. Once again, the full court pressure taking its toll. Another steal. Nice save by Smith. Pat O'Brien gets it back. He looks for some help. Stanley Brown on the far side. Oh, Brown. Nice move to the hoop. Theron Ellis crashes from over top, and they call it Norristown ball. Tony Funston looking desperately for an over-the-top call as Theron Ellis crashed the boards. And it's an Upper Merion timeout. I think that timeout perhaps should have come 5 minutes ago. The score is 17-4 with 58 seconds remaining in the first quarter. On the floor for you right now, the Norristown High cheerleading squad. Well, folks, there's not much more you can say. With the score 17-4, Upper Merion is in desperate trouble already in this ball game. If things continue the way they are right now, I think you're going to see John Cresswell making some substantial substitutions as this game progresses. I have to give the Eagles a great deal of credit. We certainly lit into them in that game against Plymouth Whitemarsh. Their play in the first half there was abominable at best. They scored only 9 points, had numerous turnovers, weren't playing tight defense. But here tonight, they seem to have it all together. Balanced scoring attack, everybody doing their part. They're obviously the quicker team. And that's been the difference so far in this ball game. That and the fact that the Eagles are shooting very well. Not very many misses, and the fact that they're getting to the free throw line for those charity shots. Irv Smith wants the jumper. Won't go for him, but a rebound by Stanley Brown. The turnaround, nice move, and he gets the roll. Stanley Brown impresses me here this evening, folks. He's done a good job finding the open man, and that time he does a good job on the follow shot. 19-4 Eagles, 40 seconds. Pocket pick, but a nice play by Washington. However, the ball goes out of bounds. That time, Bob Clark coming down court had his pocket picked. Eagles saved it in bounds. However, Washington retained possession. Couldn't make the easy shot, though, from 8 feet away. But Upper Merion gets the ball back. Helensky forces the ball back outside. Nobody for Upper Merion wants a shot. Somebody's got to take control out there. Clark wants the ball. Almost loses it, and there he does. Irv Smith. But Helensky back on defense with a nice play. The ball rolls around on the floor. Helensky comes away with it. Finally gets it outside to Talbot. Helensky, good defensive play that time for the Vikings. Talbot crosses the timeline and looks for some help. Spearman, shot won't go. Well, that about says it all. That time Spearman, nice turnaround, bank shot. It's good, but after the buzzer, so it won't count. Our score after one, 19-4, the Eagles out to a blistering lead. The game has been very relatively free of errors for Norristown. Only 4 personal fouls against the Eagles. Very few turnovers, and they've created numerous turnovers so far in this ball game. On your screen right now, the Upper Merion High School cheerleaders.